that? It's like a...
Spirits.
No way.
Spirits.
Let me take a look. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Right,
Spirits.
now let me tell you what I've just heard. You said, what did you say? And then I heard footsteps and a child. Do you know what you're saying? But I heard a child. Behind you.
No.
That way.
Our investigation of Everton Cemetery was becoming one of our most memorable, and as we continue delving even deeper, will we uncover who these entities are, and most of all, would we encounter any witches or childlike figures?
Okay, we've come to the trees where the children have been reported to have been seen, and what we've done is set up some equipment. So I'll zoom in if I can on this. We've got a over there, which is hard to see actually. We've got a ram over here. Oh, we've got another ram which is vanished off camera. There it is. And then just in between this tree, we've got a torch which can... Whoa, no way, no way.
What?
The torch is lighting
Oh,
up.
I see it, I see it.
See that there? We're talking about the torch and it's lighting up. We've got somebody here with us. Are you a child? Can you light the torch if you're a child?
You touch the torch, it will light up.
Anyway, let's go over to it. Let's go a bit closer.
Yeah, okay. We've also got an EVP recorder which is currently being recorded in the cemetery, and we have an Oculus insurance hand.
It's in my pocket, because if it makes any words on... Oh, he says, what was that? It's going off. It's right there, I've got it. It's word. Should be a word. Oh my god. Oh, it's there, Ricky. I've got it now, I think. Oh man. You see that? Did you see that? Wow, that's really bright, Bex. That's really bright. It just leaves in focusing.
I've got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Can you touch it again?
You got it, or have I got it?
I've got to put you on that.
Okay.
Okay, so we were just making our way across the cemetery to go to a different area, and as we've just approached here, you can see this tree, see this area. It's pretty open. Yeah, we heard running. The footsteps running through the leaves, and there is nobody here, so we've decided to stop for a few minutes and see if we can do a bit of calling out. We've put a couple of REMs out. If somebody's running around, can you run to the bags that are on the floor? Put a couple of REMs out, because it was the area that we heard the running. So we're just going to see if anything runs between them and sets them off.
If this is a child, we are not here to harm you or scare you or anything like that. We just want to make contact, speak to you. Is this a child?
Did you hear that? Somebody went,
Yeah, like, whoa.
oh my god.
You on that?
I'm on that. It went a little bit blurred when you turned round,
Yeah.
but I got it.
So this is a
Wow.
child. Thank you. Oh, the goosebumps on my...
I know, same with me.
Listen, on the floor we've got another lighting machine, another lighting device. If you walk towards it, it will alarm, and it's got coloured lights on it, and it's flashing so beautifully. Can you walk towards one of them? My name's Sean, and this is Bex, and we are just wanted to communicate with you. Maybe, with you being female,
Yeah.
we would like to communicate more with you. That's the question.
Shall I come near you? Do you want me to come near you? Are you here now with me? Do you want to play a game?
Is there a witch here? Yeah, I just saw that glitch for a second. It was a child or something low down. Oh, he's playing tricks on me. Good one, Jane, off in the distance. Calling for something. He's coming towards you.
You feel like somebody's behind you all the time. Cemetery right now. It's cold. It's dark. It's very freaky. The power's gone off. Left me on my own. Can you touch these lights on the floor? The blue lights?
Country. And that's a country. Maybe there's something, I'm throwing it right out there, Bex. Maybe it's not somebody of this country.
I thought that. First instinct, I thought that.
French.
Stop me.
Oh,
Were you French?
bonjour? No way.
What?
That light just lit up when I said bonjour.
Really?
Seriously, yeah. Watch, I'm trying to get it again. Yeah? I think I got it, I'm not sure. Bonjour? Bonjour? Ça va? Bonjour?
Try Spanish.
I'm thinking this is totally French. Yeah, ça va? Oh, look. That just lit up. Wow. No way. So you're French? Yes. What the hell? Are you catching that?
Mm-hmm.
You're catching that? How the hell was... So you're French? Was you brought here? Did you die in Liverpool?
Eerie place. Eerie place. Right, that's Jane. I think we're trying to be still. See if we can get anybody to look into us through that. Coming back to you, Jane.
Are you a girl? Bonjour. Ça va? Merci.
Oh my god.
Oh, no way. No way.
Asking a question.
I think this is a French one. Okay, I'll ask. Oh, look, his nose is gonna. His nose. That thing knows when I ask a question. That is freaking weird. Come and speak to us. Come and tackle too. No, I apologise that I didn't focus on my French in school. Come and tackle too. Merci. You got it. Let's count.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you count. I'm gonna count, yeah? If you can understand what we're saying, I'm gonna count in French. And then light up if you can. Don't, yeah. How old you are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
See,
See?
is that German?
See? 7. No way. No way. You pointing at that, yeah?
Yeah, I am.
7. No way. And it's still going.
Yeah.
No way.
So you were 7 years old when you died? Oh, it's gone off for me.
7. 7. And you're a boy, yes? Yes? Oui? Oui, oui? Oui?
Right, 7-year-old.
Can you talk to us all through this? We'll take anything that you've got.
Why don't we ask? See if John's with us. John, are you with us?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you for following us, John. Do you need help? John, is there a witch in the graveyard? Are you with us still, John?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
You got that, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dad.
Okay.
Is next.
So.
You got to that one.
So the boy's gained your trust enough to move away from where he feels safe enough, by the tree, and he's just triggered off the object on the floor, the REM pod, like we asked him to.
We moved away.
Yeah.
And he fell out.
Bless him. Are you trapped here? Do you not want to be trapped here?
Step away. If you can. If you can understand what we are saying. Please step back. Step away from the meter. There's no reason for that to go off.
There's no reason.
It has to be paranormal.
That is paranormal. Evidence.
But we thought that was a boy, and the thing went off. You walk towards the other one we've got on the floor over there. I know you walk towards that one and you're alarmed. There's another one on the floor. Please walk towards it. Oh.
Oh, it's a tree. It's a tree. It's a tree.
There's the moon.
I tried to get it before behind your head, but you kept moving.
Everton Cemetery is home to hundreds of souls that rest here, and we believe we may have encountered some of these kindred spirits tonight. There was no indication of the presence of witches, but we received some of the most powerful paranormal activity we have ever encountered.
Was that the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, all gone. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, what's that other one we've been watching? That. Got something on the channel.
Why don't you do something like that?
Show Laura now.
Let me twist this off. You can turn it over. Even though it's not off.
There's something crap on what's it?
Oh no, it won't be.
Crap.
You'll like it. Probably. Don't forget your drinks, you lot.
Oh,
It's almost cold.
put the Sky viewing card in. Say to insert my viewing card.
Oh,
Lorna, don't put my viewing card in.
where again? Shall I just go box? What's he on top of there for? Was that you that took it out?
Yeah.
Babe.
I thought you loved me, Mum.
Right, Mickey, you go back to sleep. Ignore the noise Pat's making.
It's the end of that one.
Here you go, babe.
Your man.
Gotta watch telly now.
The city of Troy in New York is home to the old Ascension Church and the Mount Ida Cemetery. When the church closes, the building becomes a preservation hall used to house cemetery records. But records are not the only things preserved in
Right, go
these
back to
four
sleep.
walls.
Here you go, girl.
Witnesses report hearing disembodied
You got
voices
me
and
into this
footsteps.
one.
And
Well, you said you liked. You've seen it before, and you said you liked it. No? Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2015, paranormal investigator Stacy Horton is asked to look into a strange activity. She has no idea what she's getting herself into.
Stop.
I ended up doing a walkthrough to try to explain where some of their hotbed of activity was. I had gone up into where the sanctuary is, and I went to open the door into the sanctuary. I had seen a woman kind of on the edge of the pews towards the aisle, and she was wearing a hospital gown, and she had completely blacked out eyes. The best way that I can describe her was that she was completely insane. She was crazy.
Terrified, Stacy runs from the church into the adjacent cemetery.
Off the back of where the church is, there's a gorge. I just started looking down the cliff. And I remember just getting her in the back of my mind and saying, "It's okay. You'll be okay. Jump. It'll be fun." And I realized that that was not a thought process that I would be having. So I said, no, we're all done with this.
Deeply distressed by the events that day in the cemetery, Stacy calls a more experienced investigator for help. Jack Kenna is a veteran of paranormal phenomenon and among the country's top ghost hunters. There's little he hasn't seen.
Pat, will you go to bed?
It can be extremely dangerous for
Wait,
somebody who
see.
really doesn't know what they're
Okay.
doing. You have to be prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually for that. And if you're not, you're going to get into trouble. So this was an attack, a spiritual attack of some kind. It did take partial possession of her, and it tried to get her to kill herself.
I think that it could have been a possibility that she would have influenced me to jump off the back of the cliff.
A few months later, Jack Kenna and his co-investigator Elliot Neal head to the church along with Stacy and her partner Steve Cools.
Baker asking sleep.
As they begin their investigation, the team are immediately unsettled. Jack, in particular, starts feeling the effects of the atmosphere.
There's a lot of heaviness, a lot of anxiety within the church.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Split up and cover more ground that way. Let's go.
The team splits in two. Ellen and Stacy go out to the cemetery, while Jack and Steve investigate the church.
We tried to make contact with this woman Stacy had seen, which I ended up calling the crazy lady.
We in the presence of the crazy lady.
Oh, what a white dog over
She
there.
said this woman was wearing a
Look at the
hospital
big
gown,
dog.
and there had been a hospital for the insane actually just across on the other
Let's
side of
see.
the river one time.
How go back to
Keen to provoke some paranormal responses, Jack sets up a flashlight, which he hopes to use to communicate with the spirits.
We in the presence of the crazy lady.
I said, if you're the crazy lady, turn the flashlight. The flashlight came on. I said, well, if that's who you really are, then shut it off. Shut it off.
I got something here.
We also get some loud bang responses. It's fairly loud. There's nobody else around. We're it. That changed my opinion of maybe what we're dealing with here. That it's fairly significant. It's got a lot of energy to it. It's got a lot of power to it. So we might want to be a little careful of what's going on.
Meanwhile, out in the cemetery, Stacy and Ellen are trying to record ghost communications, or EVPs.
When we started doing our EVP session right behind the cemetery, the gravestones, I saw this huge, tall, big black mass. Didn't necessarily have a shape to it, but it was huge and it blocked out everything behind it. The black mass was just kind of moving among the trees. I wasn't sure if I was really seeing what I was seeing. It was lingering right on the outskirts of the actual cemetery itself, and it seemed like it was bound in that general region, could not enter the cemetery. Stacy! Jack!
Yeah, go, it's Jack.
We're inside.
All right, send her in. I'll be right there.
Shaken, Stacy returns to the church to collect herself.
Going back to the church the second time we'd been in the cemetery, it had a different feel to it. It was a lot more heavy. It was almost kind of like walking through water when you walked through the door.
You okay?
Fearing for her safety, Steve insists on remaining with her. Meanwhile, Jack and Ellen team up outside.
As I enter into the cemetery, I just feel like I'm drawn to the back section. Like I was being pulled to this back side of the cemetery, far back corner. It's very dark back there. Not a lot of noise, not a lot of sound.
Once again, Jack attempts to make contact.
We actually left the flashlight completely on. We asked whatever spirit's there to shut the flashlight off.
Oh.
Yes response.
Just jump on me.
Turn the light
Seen
off.
that.
No.
Are you someone else? Very well.
So thrilled to make contact with the spirit, Jack's not certain that this is the one he's looking for.
At this point, with the spirit we're communicating with, I don't think it had anything to do with
My
the one that had taken over Stacy, but there was very strong energy there within that cemetery, and this spirit was able to communicate with us.
Despite the setback,
Dog gone to
Jack
sleep.
is determined to keep searching for the entity that possessed
Good,
Stacy.
silly bad.
I spot something in the
Noisy.
looks like it's
That's cold.
walking right towards us, it's coming towards us.
Ew. You like cold
Almost like
tea?
the size, I would say,
Yuck.
raccoon. But as it kept coming towards us, it got larger. It was almost morphing.
Disgusting.
Do you want some?
As it keeps coming up, it morphs into the
yeah.
size of a man.
Ah,
About 6 foot tall.
I've given Kim 2 bits. You can have 2 bits.
Yeah.
Oh, my fussy good.
Catch it. The eyes at least on camera.
No.
Right.
Jack watches the
Yeah.
entity approach.
Demon spirit.
Same one that frightened Stacy.
I start moving right towards it.
Are you a person? Who are you?
I wanted to see what this thing was, and I yell at it.
The demon with it.
Who are you?
And it just turned and took off. And boom, was gone.
You can share the fun with Playmates.
Losing Stacy to the entity, Steve has no choice but to perform an exorcism. Steve's efforts have worked. Stacy is shaken, but free.
Jack. What is it? There's something wrong with Stacy. We're in the church. Get in here now. Copy that. We'll be right there. No, we're heading back.
When an entity is trying to use you for whatever purpose it has, you don't generally have time to think. When you realize that something has that much control over what you say and what you're doing, it's absolutely terrifying. I can watch somebody drive me, and I can't do anything about it.
So by the time we get to the church, it's all over with. Stacy seems a bit run down and tired, but disoriented. Get possessed by something, you're going to be freaked out by that because it's not a good, positive thing to happen to you.
Not wanting to risk further attacks, Jack calls an end to the investigation.
This is enough. Time to wrap up and go.
With the investigation closed and Stacy's ordeal over, Jack finally has time to reflect on what he saw that night.
I'd never seen anything like that before. Never saw that before in my life. It's beyond anything you could ever want to experience as a paranormal investigator, I think.
As for conclusions, Jack has a theory that links the black shadow figure in the cemetery to Stacy's encounter in the church.
My impression was that definitely this shadow figure and that crazy woman were the same entity based on what I could sense. And I think it was trying to create more energy and keep a stronger hold on Stacy while Steve was trying to pray over her. But when I ran into it, I interrupted it, and I broke its connection.
And for Jack, every case closed is a lesson learned.
My advice to people who either take paranormal activity lightly or they just truly don't understand it, they're out there to get a thrill out of it, don't do it.
Still to come, an investigation turns sour when investigators turn on each other.
There was something up there with us, and it made us all act uncharacteristically.
But first, a trip in the forest reveals some deep, demonic roots.
We had asked about Black Dracula. Had he come through the forest at some point? We'd heard
Are you watching this, you?
Yeah, at the same time.
The Hoyt-Shoe Forest in Romania is a haunted forest. And even in darkest Transylvania, home to the legend of Dracula and Vlad the Impaler, this dense woodland strikes fear deep into the hearts of locals and visitors alike. Regarded as Romania's Bermuda Triangle, witnesses have reported seeing strange lights, apparitions, and unidentifiable creatures among the trees. Visitors have been known to become hopelessly lost, returning bruised and scratched, if they return at all. One local legend tells of a small child who became lost in the forest and vanished without a trace. It's said that the girl reappeared 5 years later, dressed in the same clothes, having remained the same age, as if no time had passed at all. It's stories like these which sparked the interest of paranormal investigator Michelle Desrochers.
Just went into the forest. Look, come back exactly the same age.
She's developed some impressive instincts.
Yeah. Okay.
Bit weird.
Yeah.
That would be that feeling when you get the butterflies in your stomach or the hair on the back of your
Patch,
head.
go lie down.
Definitely intuitive, a medium.
Okay then.
Go on, upstairs.
Damn dog.
The haunted
Okay,
forest
go back to
is
sleep.
literally a flagship destination for most researchers. The forest is just one of those locations that have been on my bucket list. And to go there was an overwhelming experience for me.
Little could Michelle have guessed her dream trip could turn into her worst nightmare. In 2013, Michelle and her investigative team Melissa McLennan and Romanian-born Adriana Furistraw traveled to Transylvania to uncover the truth about the haunted forest.
Considering the Hoia-Baciu Forest is very known for its activity, I was very excited to sort of fill out.
Despite their intrigue, Michelle knows that the location provides some logistic challenges for the team.
We're used to investigating locations that are more confined. This is a very large space. We were in a forest, a very dense forest. People disappear in these forests. Everything about it was mysterious.
The team's investigation will focus on a strange clearing in the woods, a near-perfect circle where nothing ever grows.
The circle in the forest is where people tend to get attacked. This is where people see the light anomalies. This is where they hear growls and disembodied voices.
Reaching the circle safely will be the team's first challenge.
There was this low droning sound. It was almost like humming. And it was very unusual. I have no clue what it was.
It's an eerie, unsettling trek through the forest, but eventually the investigators reach their destination.
We finally arrived to the circle, and we felt right away that we were not alone. We could sense that we were being circled. It felt as though we were being watched, almost as though the trees had a different sort of light. And Adriana worded it perfectly. She said, "It feels like the trees are watching me."
Taking this as a sign that there are spirits nearby, the team starts setting up their equipment.
As we were going through our equipment, getting ready to set up, we noticed everything was dead.
Batteries aren't working. Neither. Nothing's here too. Nothing.
And we carry not only fresh batteries, we carry extra batteries. And I mean lots of extra batteries.
This is enough. It's a conclusive sign that something is there usually when all of your equipment dies at the same time. It was a little bit unnerving to have, 6 or 7 pieces of equipment just die.
Fortunately, Adriana has an audio recorder which is still functioning.
I got one.
Adriana sets about gathering electronic voice phenomena, tangible evidence. spirit voices in the forest.
Adriana is Romanian, so we thought we would have her start asking questions in Romanian. I was asking all about the forest because it was still a mystery to us at the time. I was asking if anyone wants to say anything. We wanted to know if there were any spirits that were watching us because we felt like we were being watched.
And they soon discover that they're not alone.
And there appeared to be a shadow. And all of a sudden, the shadow moved across very quickly. And Melissa looked at me, she goes, "Did you just see that?" And I went, "You saw that?" And all of a sudden, we can hear something. It was like trees, and it just kind of like a little cracking sound.
Trying to pinpoint the cause of the activity, Adriana drifts away from the relative safety of the group.
All of a sudden, I was feeling short breaths. I'm feeling like I can't breathe. Just feel like something just sat on my chest. We could see immediately. I mean, she was pretty vocal about how she was feeling, saying, like, "I feel right. I feel heaviness in my chest, like something's pushing on it." All of a sudden, she kind of went, and whatever it was seems to have released. She was no longer feeling the pressure in her chest.
Oh my god. Okay, we're getting out of here.
Terrified for their safety, the investigators run from the clearing.
Julie's chosen French Ranger chicken bites, packed with protein. Taste the power. Power chest with power shoulders and power hands. Power pads with power keys. Power walking and power boating. Get a taste of the power. New French Rangers, powered by protein.
Babies need to be nurtured, and finding the right routine for their sensitive skin could be a stressful process. That's why for 50 years, makers of Aveeno Baby have been committed to creating products with all the soothing benefits of oats, proven for centuries and unlocked by Aveeno. With a tried, tested and loved recipe, we help to make baby skincare one less worry for every parent. Also suitable for eczema-prone skin. Aveeno Baby, nurtured by nature.
Places that take you back, celebrating 100 years
Download the Humble Arcade app from the Play Store and enjoy unique games from 5p to £1. Download the Tombola Arcade app today.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of craving something that I can't have. Forever I've been praying for a snack in my life, and now I have a brownie ending all of my strife.
She loves cats. Sadly, I do not have a cat, so tonight I'll borrow my neighbor's.
My babies.
Dreams cat treats. All it takes is a shake.
Introducing new Nivea Micellar Professional. The expert-approved formula removes stubborn, waterproof makeup with no greasy residue. So you can switch up your look straight away. New Nivea Midday Professional. Loved by makeup artists.
We know sugary things, but too much sugar can lead to serious diseases like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Now Mum's got an easy way to cut back on sugar, with lower sugar spots on the things we eat every day. So we get less sugar, and we're still happy.
Just 1 or 2 spots can really make a difference. So make a swap when you next shop. Muller like Greek style. Bake. Mullerlicious and fat-free. Fat-free? And no added sugar. No added sugar. Muller like Greek style. Muller, official yogurt of British athletics. I knew I wanted to write a sort of teen sitcom in a 3-part.
There's my
phenomenon. We just decided to stick it out. We had brought with us a mini ghost box, which is essentially a modified radio. This is meant to allow spirits to ride the radio waves. We were trying to literally see what's out there, anything.
They don't have to wait long for the spirits to make contact.
Out of the box comes the word da, which is yes and remain. We asked about Vlad Dracula. Had he come through the forest at some point? And we heard da. Yes. Not doubt that he had gone through the haunted forest at some point in his many years of
But the communication soon turned sinister.
There were different voices coming through the spirit box, and one voice came up and said, "Go now."
Someone just said, "Please go." Let's go.
It was clear to us that the spirits, they were in distress. They were not going to communicate anymore. Go now, run. To us is, that's it. Conversation is done. All of a sudden, we turn around, and the tree line is doing something that I have never seen before. The trees seem to be moving. It looked as though the tree line was going down. It was folding onto itself. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. It looked like something was sort of just walking over. It was definitely an experience.
Terrified, the team decides to leave the forest immediately.
We could hear something beside us. It was like crunching in the leaves. And it sounded to us like footsteps. And whatever it was keeping up with us.
We looked back and there's eyes. There's 2 glowing eyes. It wasn't an animal. I've never seen anything like that in my life. It was definitely, for me, it was probably the scariest thing that I've seen.
Michelle and her team make it out of the forest and head as quickly as possible back into town.
We got back to the hotel.